Hello all, welcome to TNPSC AO classes by Tarvos Education. And today we are going to see the part 2 of 2021 previous year question paper, and we are majorly focusing on agricultural economics. In part 1 we have seen nearly 10 to 15 questions as per I remember. So today we will see the continuation of that question paper. Okay. So this is just a PYQ session. I'm not going to explain the entire concept. It is just for revising or recalling the concepts which you have already studied in deep. So with this, I will move on to the next slide. Yeah, question number 60, which is based on 3 C's of credit. So the question is, the farmer with good mental and moral integrity will have a good option A, character, B, capacity, C, capital, and D, condition. So in 3 C's of credit, which C is representing the statement, the farmer with good mental and moral integrity? So the correct option will be option A, character. Okay. So the explanation is that the 3 C's or character, capacity, capital, sometimes you can also expect 5 C's, which stands for condition and common sense. Apart from this three, the two more C's are condition and common sense. Okay, common sense. So with good mental and moral integrity, the farmer will definitely have a good character. Capacity here simply means the repaying capacity, that is the repaying ability of the farmer, whether the farmer is technically strong, is having the ability to repay, and whether the income he is earning is sufficient enough to repay the amount he borrowed. Capital here means his financial strength, what are his asset, what is his net worth and equity, whether he can use this asset or equity as a collateral, which means as a security. And condition means under which condition or under what condition is obtaining the loan, and it is like condition for obtaining the loan. Okay. And common sense, you can tell it as a prima facie requirement of for borrowing a loan amount. And apart from all the 4 C's, common sense is very basic and very essential one, because if farmer is lacking a basic common sense, even if he is having sufficient amount of money, he will not be in the position to repay the loan amount. Okay, that is the concept. Next question is question 61. Again, the same concept, 3 C's of the credit, and it is from capacity. Capacity is the second C of 3 C's of credit, which indicates. We have already seen the solution, so just try to answer it. And the first option is capacity to withstand risk, capacity to repay loan, capacity to avail loan, capacity to manage the firm. So the correct option will be option B, capacity to repay the loan amount. It means the capacity of the farmer to repay the amount he borrowed. So usually the capacity we mean the repaying capacity, and it is calculated by differentiating the gross income and the expenses. So gross income is nothing but the total income it is he is obtaining from his farm or is obtaining from his business, and we have to subtract the total income by his expenses. It may be living expenses or working expenses, or other liabilities. Liabilities means the amount he has to pay, the debt he has to pay. So excluding all, whatever the thing is remaining comes under the repaying capacity. So from that thing he can repay the loan amount he borrowed. Next question is question 2. It is also from finance, and the topic is classification of credit. So the following is not included under purpose wise classification of credit. Option A, production loan, B, marketing loan, C, short term loan, and D, consumption loan. So the correct option will be option C, short-term loan. Because under purpose, there are 4 types of loan: production, consumption, marketing, and development loan or investment loan. So per types of classification, totally there are 7 types or 7 classifications of credit. Under each classification, there are different types of credit. So this is very important. You can expect at least 1 or 2 questions from this topic. So make sure you are revising these topics before going to exam. And we'll see the solution. As I said, the answer is short-term loan. Short-term loan comes under the loan classification based on time period. Okay, it is a time-based classification and not purpose-based. Based on time period, there are three types of loan: short-term loan, medium-term loan, and long-term loan. Short-term loan is the loan where you will repay the loan amount within 15 months. Medium term, it is 15 months to 5 years, and long term, it is more than 5 years. And short term loan, usually you say it as seasonal agricultural operational loan. It is for very short term period. It is also an example for crop loan. Medium term loan, usually we use it for purchasing the livestock and implements. Okay, it is for livestock and implements. And long term loans is usually used for land development, construction of a building, or any larger investment comes under long term loans. And medium term and long term together, we call it as term loans. Medium term and long term together, we call it as term loans. Next question is question 63. So this is also from Agricultural Finance, and the question is based on self-help group linkage institution. So the institution involved in linking self-help groups to credit institution. So which institution suggested to link the self-help groups to the banks or to the credit institution? So the options are: option A, RBI, Reserve Bank of India; option B, NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development; and option C, Agricultural Refinance and Development Corporation; and option D, it is World Bank. So the correct option is option B, NABARD. And NABARD was established in July 12, 1982 under the recommendation of Sivaraman. And Sivaraman headed the committee named CRAFICARD, Committee to Review Arrangements for Institutional Credit for Agriculture and Rural Development. This program, officially called as Self-Help Group Bank Linkage Program, and linking self-help groups with the bank, was done on 1992 under the recommendation of S.K. Liaquat Ali Committee. And it is considered as the world largest microfinance initiative. Moving on to the next question, it is also from Agricultural Finance. So they are asking the World Bank related topic. So the World Bank is officially known as ADB, Asian Development Bank; B, CRAFICARD. You can eliminate this here itself because we have seen CRAFICARD is something related to NABARD and it is not related to World Bank. It is a committee recommended NABARD. And option C, IBD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development; and option D, ARDC, Agricultural Refinance and Development Corporation. So try eliminating, as I said many a time. So ADB, Asian Development Bank, the name itself means it is a bank which is focusing on Asia and Pacific region. They focus on funding and developing the Asia and Pacific region. ARDC, we have seen already, Agricultural Refinance Development Corporation. It is a corporation that focuses on refinancing agriculture for the development of agriculture and rural sector. So definitely World Bank is not linked to ARDC, and the left out option is IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. IBRD and IDA together, we call it as World Bank Group. IDA stands for International Development Agency. So we'll see the explanation for this topic. And IBRD stands for International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. It was established in 1944 at Bretton Woods Conference. Both World Bank and IMF, International Monetary Fund, both established at a Bretton Woods Conference, and both are having headquarters at USA, Washington DC. And IBRD together with IDA, we call it as World Bank Group. If they are asking about the World Bank sister institutions, there are totally 5 institutions: IBRD, and second one is IDA, Apart from this, you have International Finance Corporation, and then MIGA, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Authority, and then it is ICSID, International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. Okay, all this five falls under World Bank. Okay, and World Bank, officially known as IBRD, headquarters is at Washington, D.C., USA. Remember all these points. Next question is from form management. So the question is related to scope of form management. The question is, form management is not concerned about options are option A, selection of enterprise, option B, how total form income is distributed, option C, comparative study of form business of different regions, and option D, efficient allocation of land, labor, and capital. So again, try eliminating. So you can directly answer this question. The correct option is option C, comparative study of farm businesses of different regions. Why? Because farm management itself is a microeconomic study. We can study or we focus on the things that is happening within the farm. It is a intra-farm study and not a inter-farm study. Production economics is a macroeconomic concept and it is inter-farm study, and there we focus on comparative study of farm business of different regions. So it is something related to production economics and not related to farm management. Here comes the explanation. Farm management, it deals with microeconomic science, and we focus on individual farm operating decisions or farm enterprise combinations, resource efficiency, and profit optimization, and not on comparative study. And if we are speaking about interfarm region, we always focus on production economics, and it is a macro level study, and here we go for comparative regional economic studies. So our next question is question 66. The focus of dash was on food, work, and productivity. So this comes under development economics. We have the 5-year plans. Among the 5-year plans, in which 5-year plan the concept was focusing on the food, work, and productivity. Options are option A, 6th plan, option B, 7th plan, option C, 8th plan, and option D, 9th plan. So the correct option will be option B. It is 7th plan. Okay. There is no need of any explanation. It is a direct fact question. Just remember a few things from this 5-year plans. So which 5-year plan focus on what concept or what theme? Next is question 67, and this is based on international economics, and the concept is on offer curve definition. The question is, in international trade, offer curve is defined as the locus of pairs of export offer and import demand at different options or exchange rates, relative prices or terms of trade, option C, tariff rates, option D, production costs. So the correct option will be option B, terms of trade, that is relative prices. So here we focus on both import and export offer and import demand. So the terms of trade is nothing but the ratio of export price to the import price. Here is the explanation. So, offer curve shows the quantity of one commodity a country will export in exchange for imports of another commodity at varying relative price ratio, that is terms of trade. As I said before, it is the ratio of price of export divided by price of import. So, offer curve is nothing but a line or a curve or a locus that is representing how much export we are doing in change of an import from another country. Next question is also based on international economics. They have asked question from WTO. So World Trade Organization was established in which year? Option A 1947, B 1991, C 1995, and D 2000. Both WTO and World Bank, both are very important topics. Please make note on this. Please make sure you study all these topics before entering the exam hall. And the option will be option C, 1995. So I'll try to put on one more question here. Try answering that. WTO, which was established in 1995, came up after replacing which agreement? I'm just asking. WTO replaced which agreement? So WTO replaced GATT, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. Okay, WTO replaced GATT. This is also one of the important question. And the headquarters of WTO is at Geneva, Switzerland. But World Bank, it is in Washington, USA. Remember this also. So World Trade Organization was established in Jan 1, 1995, replacing GATT, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. GATT is not an organization or not an institution. It was just an agreement. After replacing this agreement, the organization called WTO was established and the headquarters is at Geneva, Switzerland. Next question is based on geographical indication, that is GI tag. Geographical indication comes under dash agreement. Which agreement? Option A, AOA, Agreement on Agriculture. Option B, TRIPS, Trade Related Intellectual Property Rights. Option C, Trade Related Investment Measures. And option D, General Agreement on Trade and Services. So if you are knowing the full form, you can easily answer it. AOA, it comes under WTO and it is nothing to do with the geographical indications. Trade related investment measures. So abbreviation, the full form itself tells it is something related to investment and not related to indications of geographical indications. And option D, general agreement on trade and services, trade in services. So it is related to trade. And the left out option, trade related intellectual property rights, will be the correct option. So TRIPS, it is related to intellectual property rights, IPR. It covers patents, copyrights, trademarks, and geographical indications. The example for geographical indications you can tell as Darjeeling tea in Tamil Nadu, Madurai Malli. All these are examples. So geographical indications are nothing but to safeguard or to maintain the originality of few things that is produced in few area. We are indicating it geographically. That is the concept of geographical indication and it is done by TRIPS. Our next question is from marketing. So the question is, these markets are of a permanent nature. And the options are option A, short period market, B, long period market, C, secular market, and D, very short period market. So let me give you examples so that you can answer the question. So before that, like types of markets and types of credit, both are very important. You can see this question in 2018 question paper also. It is a direct question and you need not to think, it takes seconds to answer. So please make sure you are very thorough with the types of credits and types of market. So we'll see the example. Very short period market, it is highly perishable. Example, you can take milk. It is very perishable. Overnight it will get spoiled. Short period market, vegetables and fruits comes under short period market. Okay, it is very perishable and you can keep it for 1 or 2 days. Long period market, usually food grains comes under long period market. Grains and pulses comes under long period market. Please bear with my handwriting. Okay, secular market is missionaries. So machineries comes under secular market. Now try to answer the question, which is the market is a permanent in nature. So the correct option will be option C, secular market. It is permanent market and it deals with durable commodities. We have already seen the explanation, just we'll see the important points. Secular market, as I said, it deals with highly durable goods so that it can fully adopt to long-term demand changes because the goods are not perishable. You can store the goods, you can supply in the future also. Okay, and this classification is based on the periodic market classification. Your next question is on former service societies. So, service societies are nothing but cooperative societies. So, they are asking former service society FSS were first established in the year. Options are option A 1969, B 1971, C 1975, and D 1982. So the correct option will be option B 1971. Remember, under cooperative society, you can expect question from FSS and also from LAMPS. In 2018 question paper, they asked question from LAMPS. Both are cooperative society. LAMPS stands for Lot Sized Adivasi Multipurpose Cooperative Society. LAMPS, it is a cooperative society for tribal and hilly area people. FSS, it is a cooperative society for small and marginal farmers. Okay, these are the key points, and both established in 1971. Okay, the year of establishment of both are same. Now, so we'll see the important point alone. So it was established under the recommendation of NCA, National Commission on Agriculture, and it especially focus on providing credit and the input requirements for small and marginal farmers. Our next question is on RRB, Regional Rural Bank. Now it is called as Grama Bank. In Tamil Nadu, they have renamed it as Tamil Nadu Grama Vangi. The question is the committee which recommended the merger of RRB with sponsor commercial banks. So, which committee recommended RRBs to combine with the sponsoring commercial bank? Option A, Narasimham Committee, B, Khusro Committee, C, CRAFICARD, and D, Gadgil. So the correct option will be option B, Khusro Committee. Okay. Now we'll try to segregate the answers. So Narasimhan Committee is the committee which initially recommended RRB. It is the committee to recommend RRB initially in the year 1975. Okay. And Khusro Committee, they said they recommended to merge the weak RRBs to the sponsor commercial banks. And CRAFICARD, we have already seen it is something related to NABARD. And Gadfield committee is a committee that recommended lead bank, okay, lead bank scheme. So this is the breakdown of the options. And if you see, you can expect one more question. So what is the sponsor commercial banks and what are the sponsorships? Sorry, how the sponsorship in RRB is done? Who are all the sponsors? You can expect this question also. It is also a very important question. So under RRB, there are three sponsors. One is central government, which sponsors 50% of the fund, and state government, which sponsors 15% of the fund, and finally the sponsor bank, the sponsor commercial bank, which sponsors 35% of the fund. And this 35% will be that is the lead bank, will be given by the lead bank, 15% by state government and 50% by the central government. Here comes the explanations. Agricultural Credit Review Committee in 1989 was headed by Khusro Committee. He was appointed by government to study the credit that is given to the agricultural sector. So what he recommended or suggested is the RRBs which are having poor financial viability should be merged with their sponsored banks. That is, the banks which is contributing 35% of their of the fund of RRB should take care of the RRBs whose performance is poor. And we discussed this already. Narasimhan Committee was the initial committee that recommended RRB in the year 1975. So next question, which is the apex refinance institution for agriculture and rural development in India? The options are RBI, Reserve Bank of India, option B, NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, option C, World Bank, option D, Agricultural Finance Corporation. So again, try segregating, try eliminating the options. It will make the question easier and make the chances of uh, getting the correct answer. So RBI, Reserve Bank of India, it is also a apex agency. So all these four are apex agency basically, but RBI is the central bank of India. It not only focuses on agriculture, it doesn't focus on one sector, it focuses on entire India's economy. So RBI cannot be for agriculture. World Bank, it is a world level apex agency. Again, World Bank doesn't narrow it down to agriculture alone. So World Bank cannot be the answer. Agricultural Finance Corporation, either it should be NABARD or AFC. And if you are having a good knowledge on the formation of NABARD, you might know this. AFC is renamed as NABARD. AFC along with ARDC, Agricultural Refinance and Development Corporation, they combined this and renamed as NABARD. So the correct option is option B, NABARD. NABARD is Apex Refinance Institution for Agriculture and Rural Development in India. If it is Apex Refinance Institution in India, then the option should be RBI, Reserve Bank of India. And the common thing about RBI and NABARD is that their headquarters is in Mumbai. Okay, it is not in Delhi, it is Mumbai. Most of the students get confused in this part. So the headquarters is in Mumbai. The explanation, we know the full form of NABARD, and it was established in July 12, 1982 under CRAFICARD Committee to review arrangements for institutional credit for agriculture and rural development. And the committee was headed by Sivaraman, and the headquarters of NABARD is in Mumbai. These are the important points to remember. The next question, the decline in the value of an asset due to usage or accidental damage or obsolescence is called as. The concept is on asset value decline. Why the value of the asset will decline year to year. So the answer is option B, depreciation. Appreciation means increase in the value of the asset. So when you can see the increase in the value of asset, especially you can see for livestock during its initial period. And depreciation means declining in the value of asset. Amortization is something that we come across in agricultural finance or normally in finance. It is series of payments. We call it as amortization. Salvage value. Salvage value is nothing but the junk value or the end value or a trash value after the useful life, the thing which we are having in our hand, the junk value of the final commodity after the useful life is called as salvage value. And here is the explanation. So depreciation is non-cash operational expenses reflecting the capital asset over an asset's useful life. Example, you can take a tractor. So you're purchasing a tractor, you will be using it for 15 years. If you are investing 15 lakhs on a tractor, does it mean after 15 years you will have the same 15 lakh worth of tractor in your hands? No, okay, definitely not, because you have used it and its value has been declining over the years. So that is what we call it as depreciation. And the basic formula is purchase value minus salvage value divided by useful life. There are various types of depreciation, and the formula is for straight end method of calculating the depreciation, which is the simplest method, and we get the value directly. We are at the end of the video. Thank you all for watching the video. Wish you all the best for your preparation. And I'm insisting you again, this is just a revision session, and you please don't expect a complete concept understanding or explanation over here. We have separate videos for that, and please make use of those videos. Once again, thank you so much, and keep on preparing. And the video is getting lengthier, so I'm just cutting down to 30 minutes. We still have 10 to 15 questions in the same question paper, that is 2021 question paper. We'll discuss the same in the next part of the video. And once again, thank you all, and bye bye.